Before airplanes filled the skies, before highways stretched across the land, America traveled by rail, and on those rails, walked men of dignity. They were called Pullman porters, employed by the great Pullman Company. These men worked aboard sleeping cars, making beds, polishing shoes, carrying luggage, and offering something even greater than service. They offered grace. For many African American men in the late 1800s and early 1900s, this was more than a job. It was opportunity. Though the hours were long, sometimes over 100 hours a week, the work allowed families to build stability, send children to school, and dream beyond the limits society tried to place upon them. On rail lines like the Atlantic Coastline Railroad, these men traveled city to city, learning the rhythm of America, carrying stories back home, becoming messengers of possibility. It draft. But dignity demands fairness. And in 1925, something powerful happened. Under the leadership of a Philip Randolph, the men formed the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters. It was the first successful African-American labor union in the United States. They stood together for better wages, for respect, for humanity. Their unity would ripple far beyond the railroads. When the civil rights movement began to rise, the network of Pullman porters became a quiet engine of change. They spread newspapers, shared information, supported leaders. And when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, it was Pullman porters who helped raise funds and support the movement that followed. The rails had become roads to freedom. Today, historians and storytellers keep that legacy alive. Voices like Robert West remind us that history is not just dates and facts. It is courage. It is sacrifice. It is perseverance dressed in a pressed uniform and polished shoes. The Pullman porters were more than attendants on a train. They were builders of a middle class, mentors to their communities, architects of quiet revolution, change. As you color these pages, imagine the sound of the whistle, the rhythm of the tracks, the steady footsteps down a narrow train aisle. Each stroke of color honors a man who rode the rails so others could rise. Legacy is not just something we inherit. It is something we carry forward. And the train still rolls on.